welcome to my next YouTube video. So what I want to talk to you about today is something that I believe is very important, and it relates to everyone in their lives. So it's a common issue. It's a problem that everybody are facing quite often in their lives, or even every day. So the topic is procrastination. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you and explain to you what procrastination is and what are the reasons of that behavior, so we understand where it's coming from. And then I'm gonna share with you my personal tips. How do I overcome it and what do I do with it in those moments when I feel like procrastinating? So what is procrastination? What's the definition of procrastination? So procrastination is pretty much delaying the important tasks or important things you have to do, and despite knowing the negative consequences of delaying it. And now, guys, I'm gonna share with you the most common reasons why we procrastinate, and I'm also gonna share with you my personal experience, my personal example to those reasons. So first reason is a fear of failure or stress relief. So when we procrastinate, we think that we are lazy, but it's not the issue. We are not being lazy. Laziness is a very different thing. So when we procrastinate, we actually releasing the stress emotion that we have, this anxiety which comes with performing the important task that we should be performing, we should do. So for example, when it comes to my life, I do procrastinate. For example, even with this video that I'm recording now, I was procrastinating on it because I was simply just tired. I didn't have a good sleep last night, and I actually tried to have a nap just before recording this video, but I couldn't fall asleep, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know if it's the best day today to record this. I don't feel like it. I kind of have a headache. I'm sleepy, I'm tired. It's just not the best day. But I know that it's just my mind tricking me and giving me so many excuses about why I shouldn't do the thing I want to do. And actually the real reason behind it is I was procrastinating on doing this video because I do struggle quite often with the setting up the background and the lighting for the video. With fear of failure, I was procrastinating on this video because, for example, I was afraid that this video won't be good enough, so I can post it, and then I'm just afraid of the feeling I will get after, like me trying to do this video and then this video not being good enough, me not being satisfied enough with this video. So I'm gonna like self-criticize myself a lot, and I'm just like, I was avoiding this task because of me knowing the possibility of how am I gonna feel after recording the video, like this disappointment I have to face after recording it. But then you also have to remember that the outcome can be totally different, like the outcome can be positive. So what if, like, you have to tell yourself, what if this video will be like good enough? What will I'll be happy with it so I can post it? What if it's gonna be even better than I thought? So we always have to like my mind, like our mind is tricking us, so we also have to trick our mind. Another reason of procrastination could be perfectionism. So I can also relate to that. So I pay lots of attention to every detail. It's about like the detail about what I say on the camera, the detail about how I look, or the detail about how the background around me looks like, how's the whole quality of this video. So I do pay lots of attention. I'm kind of like perfectionist with the projects I'm doing, I'm working on. So for example, if the project I'm working on is not perfect enough, it's not good enough, I'm gonna be feeling disappointed, and I want to avoid this feeling. So sometimes my mind is telling me, okay, maybe it's better to not do it at all, so you can avoid all the disappointment and you can feel good, but at the same time you won't feel good because you procrastinated on the task that you wanted to do. So it's a very confusing feeling. A third reason of procrastination could be lack of motivation. I think it's like one of the most popular reasons on why people procrastinate, including myself. We just don't feel motivation because we know that the work we do, we're not gonna see the result straight after the work is done, unfortunately. So it takes lots of discipline and lots of determination to do something important in our lives, because we know that most likely with those things we have to do, like the huge projects, they always come with little steps, and it's always a long-term thing. So I think like it's the lack of motivation, that's where it comes from. So we just need to be self-disciplined enough to do this, even if we don't feel motivated, or we also might feel upset, or emotionally we just not feeling it that day. So it can be really hard to force yourself to do something that you're not feeling like doing. I think like this is one of the most challenging thing I could experience, and I'm sure you went through that as well many times in your life. So I think it's important to just do it despite how you feel, or like if you don't feel like it, if you're tired, just remember that it's just your mind telling you all the excuses, and you shouldn't listen to it. You just do your thing and focus on what's important, and focus on what you want to do the most in your life and what makes you happy. And also remind yourself, like, once you do this, like, okay, maybe you don't feel like it, but once you do it, you will feel amazing, you will feel accomplished, and you will feel satisfied with yourself. I believe this is much better than like putting the task on the side, delaying it for the, like, you know, the immediate reward, like kind of like, oh yeah, I feel good because I didn't do it, so I don't have to motivate myself, it's like too hard. But then all the disappointment you feel after that, that's the consequence of not doing it. So I always remind myself to, like, it's better to do this even if I don't feel like it, even if I'm so unmotivated, and then I will feel better. And then instead of like regretting that you didn't do this at all. And another reason of procrastination, it could be just simply distractions. So as you know, like in our generation, there's so many distractions. Like whatever we look at, like if you even go out of the house, there's so many distractions everywhere around us. So there's always something better, something more exciting to do for us. And I think the major issue, the biggest issue, is our phones and technology, like internet. It's just very tempting to just waste your day and your time on your phone, just scrolling Instagram or TikTok or whatever that is, or some watching like cat videos, you know. So it's so easy to get distracted, especially nowadays in this generation. So it's really important to put aside all the distractions, like turn off the TV, put your phone away. And the last reason of procrastination is poor time management. So like we all busy, like in most cases we sort of like have some job, part-time job, a full-time job, it could be, or any type of work we're doing, or we also busy with our family or friends. We are busy with, I don't know, some things we have to do around the house, or we have so much going on in our lives, right? Like life is so busy, and like we have to make sure that we find the time for the important things we want to do in our life. So when we have a certain project, like a side hustle we want to do, or we want to grow, we need to prioritize it, and we need to schedule a time for it, so we don't use these excuses like, oh, I didn't have time to do this. Like we always have time for the important things we want to do. So being busy is just an excuse. We will always if we prioritize something, we will always find time for it. So it's very important to learn how to manage your time. So you, for example, don't put too much on your plate. If you one day, if you working 8 hours, you have like 8-hour shift, and then after that you schedule like a catch up with your friends, or maybe a drink after work in the city, or whatever that is. then of course you're not gonna record a video because you're gonna catch up with your friend and you're gonna be tired after work and it's just too much going on during that same day. So you need to schedule, like for example, schedule a time, make sure you have a lots of free time, so you have time to do your project, to do important things. And you also make sure you have enough time, you have lots of time scheduled for that, because for example, recording YouTube video, it's not about sitting here and recording and talking for like 10 minutes, but it's also getting yourself ready, writing down the script, getting the idea for the video, editing the video, setting up the background and lighting. So it takes lots of time to actually do one video. So make sure to schedule enough time so you're not running out of time, you're not like being like, you're not rushing. So that's like really important to learn how to manage your time as well and prioritize your tasks. And now I'm gonna share with you my little tips or secrets. How do I overcome procrastination? First thing, as I talked to you before, it's to actually schedule specific time frame and as well a location where you want to do your important task. Actually, this tip also comes from the book I've read recently, Atomic Habits. I don't remember the author, it's James Clear. I don't remember, but I'm sure you know, I'm sure you'll find it out, and I'm sure you'll find out. But yeah, so in this book, he also said about like how to form a good habit is to actually schedule a time for it and a location. Like you have to know where you're gonna do your important task and when you're gonna do it and how long you're gonna do it for. So it's really important. So with me, what works well on me, I love to work on my laptop, like do important things at the cafes. So I love coffee. So for me, it's combining those pleasant things like drinking coffee, and it's my routine as well. Like I grab a coffee every morning, like every day. So it's my routine. So it's nice to like connect this habit with habit of working and doing important things on your laptop or whatever that is. So that's what I do. I go to different cafes within my area. So I try to mix it up as well to give it some variety. So I don't go every day to the same cafe. I go every day different cafes. Also, sometimes I like to discover new places, new cafes. So it's really fun thing to do. Like it's combining work and also fun things to do. So that's what makes it easier for me to do important things. Because like once I know, okay, like now I'm going to the cafe for coffee and that's the time when I'm gonna work. So when I'm actually at the cafe, it's so hard for me to procrastinate. Even if I wanted to, like it's impossible because I went to the cafe with this purpose of working there. So it's like, I believe it's one of my favorite and the best tips I can give you. Another tips I can give you, for example, what happens with me is like I try to do important things in the morning. Like, okay, so I'm not really a morning person. So in the morning, I would say like late morning. Like I think the areas I can do like important task or some work, it's like 10 a.m. in the morning. So I usually wake up like 8 or 9 a.m. and then I just, wake myself up. I grab some breakfast and then I just go to the cafe and I just work on my projects, have a coffee. And then sometimes in life, like even if you schedule that time, you prioritize it, sometimes just something comes up, like, I don't know, some catch-ups or important appointments, something that you have to do in the morning because you cannot do it in the evening or in the afternoon. So I remember I had this problem when I said, okay, I didn't work in the morning because I couldn't, I was too busy, I had important appointments that day. So my brain was telling me straight, okay, so if you couldn't do it in the morning, then you cannot do it at all today. That's fine, you can do it tomorrow. So it was again delaying the thing. So now I always I try to catch myself on that and I tell myself, okay, if I couldn't do it in the morning, that means that I will have to do it in the evening, in the afternoon. And it's okay to work in the afternoon and the evening, because for some reason my brain was thinking that it's just not okay to do any work in the afternoon or in the evening because it's the time when you should relax yourself. But now, yeah, like I always try to do some important work in the morning or like lunchtime, or like early afternoon. That's, I think, my favorite time of working. But at the same time, if I'm too busy, I just switch it up. Like I do appointments in the morning if I have to do it, then do the important work in the afternoon, and then like late evening I just relax myself. So I still get that relaxation, that I want to have, but it comes after the work is being done. Another tip for procrastination is to remind yourself why you want to do the thing you want to do. So when you have some project going on, or you want to start a new business, or you want to work on your business, or you want to record a YouTube video, just remind yourself why you want to do this thing. I believe like it's so good for motivating myself, because to be honest, like all the projects I'm doing it's the most important thing in my life, and I couldn't imagine living without it. That's what gives me hope, that's what gives me belief, that's what gives me motivation. So I just couldn't live without it. So I always remind myself, like, okay, you don't feel like doing it today, but just remember, this is what you want. Like, it's so important for you, so why are you delaying it? So just remind yourself, talk to yourself that this is what I want and why I want it. Like, what's the reason of me wanting this? Well, how much I want it, right? Because like if we want it but not enough, then of course we're not gonna have motivation. So we need to make sure that the things we want it a lot. Like we want it really hard. So yeah, that what helps me as well. And yeah, another tip, as I actually said before, so just remind yourself that the outcome of your work won't be always as perfect as you imagine it to be or as you want it to be. And you have to kind of accept it. So it happened to me many times that, I don't know, for example, I recorded a video and I wasn't happy with it at all. Like with nothing there, like I wasn't happy the way it looks, I wasn't happy with the lighting, I wasn't happy the way I looked, I wasn't happy with the way I talk, just with anything. So, but I said to myself, well, I'm just like kind of like a beginner, I'm just starting this journey, and of course I'm not gonna be perfect, but me doing it, it will help me to get perfect and get better, because the only way to get better at this and being perfect is to actually doing the thing and to practice that. So I always try to remind myself that even if the outcome won't be the way I want it to be, that's okay. Like, I'll get better at this, and that's okay. It's just a part of the journey. And the last tip I want to give you, remind yourself how good you're gonna feel after doing the important thing. So guys, like, it's such a nice, satisfying feeling once you do something, you do the thing you want to do, and you just feel so good with yourself. You feel satisfied, you feel that you've been productive enough that day, and you don't have to criticize yourself. You feel completed. It's a very beautiful feeling, and I think it's worth it. Like, it's worth it to overcome this procrastination, no matter how strong it is, because I know it's very strong, it's very overwhelming, so hard to overcome it. But once you do, you feel accomplished and you feel so proud of yourself and you feel so happy, and it's worth it. Like, the feeling you get after, it's really worth it to overcome the procrastination. So yeah guys, that's all the tips that I can give you from my own life, how to overcome procrastination. So I hope this video helps you. I hope you're gonna try some of the tips that I gave you, and I hope you will see the results you want to see. Good luck with your work. Thank you for listening. Bye.